Federal Reserve is one of the most transparent central banks in the world.
That's a statement. What do you fear about the audit? Give me.
You describe will continue to change the nature of work, the kinds of jobs that will be available, and the skills that will be needed to fill those jobs. And to my mind, a very important focus for all of us should be.
So what should be the three things we should do to prepare? Because I agree with you, it's going to change the nature of work, it'll create jobs, it'll displace jobs, and people need different skills. What would the 2 or 3 things you would do to best prepare the future to be able to succeed now?
So to my mind, education and training are absolutely central to the ability of workers to fill the new kinds of jobs that will be available and have the skills. When I talk...
You know what cheers me up when I'm feeling shitty?
What?
Rolled up aces over kings.
That right?
Yeah. Check raising stupid tourists and taking huge pots off them.
Yeah?
Stacks and towers of checks I can't even see over. Playing all night, high limit hold'em at the Taj, where the sand turns to gold.
Fuck it, let's go.
Don't tease me.
Let's play some fucking cards.
What's happening? This is the OG Bronc Nuts. 719 Colorado Springs, West Side, West. And, man, Bitcoin's on a little bit of a comeback, a little bit of a run. So I want to talk about that tonight. And what I really think of this Mt. Gox whale, this trustee that sold off a lot of these crypto coins, that the speculation is that they caused this whole drop. So, let's just think about it. I think that Bitcoin went on its run mania to 19,000. And a lot of hype was created about it. And that's when I think the institutions and bankers were like, whoa, we got to pull this back, get this under control. And all of a sudden, after the starts, to slide back, the Mt. Gox trustee admits that from December, and I think it was all the way through February, was selling enough Bitcoin to give back to their investors of what they've been hijacked over there on Mt. Gox. Now, the trustee, who's essentially a banker, let's just be honest about it. The trustee says, I partnered up with some Bitcoin and blockchain experts. Now, they won't tell us who the experts are. My guess is it's Jamie Dimon. Look, if I had $400 million worth of Bitcoin to sell, and I wanted to do something that I consider shady and illegal what they did, I call Jamie Dimon too. He'd be the first person I called, because I know Jamie Dimon and his friends are going to be able to help me out and execute this. And the reason why I think, what's this guy's name? Kobayashi or something? It sounds like wasn't like the hot dog eating champion, like Kobayashi? It's not the same guy. But anyway, this Kobayashi fella says that they sold them on not a traditional exchange. They used other forms, other avenues as to not disturb the market. Really, cuz? Because disturbing the market is exactly what you did. You sold all your coins like the absolute worst way possible. If you want to hire a pro, from what I've seen, the way your account's being handled, call the OG Bronc Nuts, because I could have sold your coins much more effectively than the way you did it. And your biggest coin dump was the very last one you took. That should have been the first one that you took on the top. Why nobody was looking. But I think the whole thing was planned and staged. I think this, what do you want to call him? The creditor, the trustee who had control of Mt. Gox's Bitcoins. I think they made a call to some bankers, market makers, people. It's known that the market was front run, that there was tons of shorts that got opened up. So they made money on the way down. Then they sold them all of the coins, so now they have a whole bunch of them. And now supposedly they've got all the people that got jacked in the Mt. Gox snafu, got them all their money back, but by the time that $400 million gets back into the hands of the people, the price of Bitcoin's going to be way higher than it is today. And all of those people are going to want to move their money into the crypto coin space because that's where they had it in the first place. Why wouldn't they want to move it back in? But now they're going to have to move back in at a higher price. This thing absolutely reeks of corruption, because the easiest way to have done this would have just been, here's how many Bitcoins that we have, here's how many there's claims to. So, if you had 100, sorry, we lost half of them, but we're going to give you at least 50 of these Bitcoins back. That's what they should have done. Would have been the easiest way to really divvy this up fairly and solve this fairly for everybody. But of course, there's nothing about a banker that's ever been fair or probably ever gonna be fair. My guess is that the Bitcoin bottom is in, and we're not gonna see it dip down into the $5,000 or $6,000 range, which I was hoping that it would get down that far, but I think it was really kind of like fairy tale thinking, because I know better than to think it's gonna get that low. But that's where it was gonna get juicy enough for me to even go just buy more. And it sure didn't do that. I mean, it dipped into the sevens, I think 78, 75, somewhere in there. And since it shot back up, and today it's, just recently today, it back over 9,100. And when you look at the volume that is coming through on the exchanges, they're pretty big spikes. And so either there's going to be one more big dump and a flush out, and we're all suckers that are buying right now, or the people that are buying right now slowly while everybody's scared to put their toe in the water, they're collecting up a lot of Bitcoins. And what's going to happen is the FOMO buying hasn't even set in yet, right? I mean, the guy who bought his Bitcoins at 10, 12, 13, 14,000 and watched it go all the way down to 8 in the sevens, and then he panic sold, is kicking himself that he sold. And believe me, I've been there, kicking myself going, why did I sell? This is dumb. I mean, I'm making an investment of what I think the future is going to be, and here it is, I got weak knees. I mean, this is a volatile game, and if you're not prepared for some volatility, you can't be playing in it. But the reality is that there's not even a doubt in my mind. I'm more clear and more sure than I've ever been before that Bitcoin is going to break crazy numbers, make an all-time high, break through that $19,000 threshold, and just keep on going when it does. Now, I don't know where it's going to be. I don't know, when it's all going to happen, if it happens in the next 2 weeks, if it takes another year of consolidation of Bitcoin bouncing up to, say, maybe 12 and down to 8 or 9 and just consolidating in that tight range before it pumps and bounces again and really makes its next move up. I don't know when it happens, but I know that it's going to happen. And I know that the people that really hang on to their crypto coins are going to be happy that they did. Don't let this Mt. Gox situation scare you. Apparently they said they've done, they do have a lot more Bitcoins, but they don't have the authority to sell them. So I think the worst of it is over. They might be able to push this down one more time, or you might get some weak hands that get shook off along the way. When Bitcoin crosses 10 or 11 or 12, people are like, let me get out of here. I was gambling with money that I didn't have. I still think we got some weak hands that shake off along the way, but once those weak hands get shook, forget about it. Bitcoin's going to the moon, and you better hang on, because this next rise is going to be absolutely epic, and it's going to blow everything that we've ever seen so far up until this point out of the water. Litecoin and all the other crypto coins, I see a few of the good ones coming along for this ride, but I think, like I've said before, 2018 is going to be the year of consolidation, when people start realizing that they're not really holding a coin that's that solid, and it's really going to be measured by the action that's on Blocktivity. So measuring, like how many transactions and what's happening across all these blockchains. With any product, somebody's got to be using it for it to have any value. So I think people are going to start dumping some of their altcoins and moving onto some of these more solid projects and more solid blockchains, quite frankly. Look for EOS or EOS, however you want to say it, to make a big splash coming up here in the next few months. I can't recommend enough that if you're not a trader and you want a little bit of exposure to the crypto coin game, buy yourself a fund like Bit20. I think there's Crypto20. That one's decentralized. They're not completely decentralized like Bit20. I think buying some of these funds, some of these indexes where you can buy the whole market is a smart thing to do, especially for this whole thing refuels and goes on this launch that it's going to have inevitably between now and the year of 2020. Good luck trading. Take some of this advice. Get this money back into the crypto coin market. Don't be scared. This thing's going way higher, y'all. Just buy the coins and hold them. You'll be happy that you did. This is the OG Bronknuts, 719 West, where you come to get the latest and greatest crypto information because I'm always going to give it to you. Good luck, suckers. I'm out.